Let's talk for a moment about fluency preparation. First, it is important to select a fair passage. If you're using our OG lesson plans, a fair passage is recommended in the lesson. Pre-read each passage and underscore any difficult or unfair words. Give some thought to your student partnerships. Equally yoked students, or those with similar fluency rates and skills, make the best partners. Partnering a higher-performing student with a lower-performing student only creates frustration for both students, as the higher student is frustrated that the lower student can't keep up, and the lower student is discouraged by the higher student's skills. Partners should know who their partner is and should be able to quickly transition to their partnership during this component of the lesson. Partners should also know what to do if their partner is absent. Partners may change but should only do so periodically, perhaps monthly or quarterly. Copies of the passage should be provided to students to take home for additional practice. Now let's take a closer look at our fluency procedure. First, we need to introduce the passage and remove any obstacles that may prevent the students from reading fluently. Words that are critical to support understanding should be simply defined and explained. We may need to pre-teach unfair words or names in the passage. Posing a comprehension question for students to think about as they're reading maintains the focus that the goal of reading is to gain understanding. After the comprehension question is posed, demonstrate through modeled reading a very brief 1 minute or less section of the passage. Often, this is the beginning of the passage. If, however, the passage contains tricky dialogue, it may be a good idea to include that in your modeled reading instead. Support students to choral read the same section with you for about a minute. After choral reading, give partnerships explicit directions on how you would like them to read the passage. Do you want them to do repeated readings or continuous readings? To review, in repeated reading, the partners always start back at the beginning of the passage, and their goal should be to see if they can read further each time. If continuous reading is your goal, remind partner B to pick up reading where partner A left off. And when it's partner A's turn to read again, he or she should also pick up where partner B left off, so that the students are rotating in about 60-second segments. When you pull the group back together, provide a quick follow-up on the comprehension question. When possible, frame your question with an answer stem so that answers can be responded to chorally and not individually. Now that we've previewed this procedure, let's give it a shot on our own. We're going to practice our fluency procedure. Our story today is My Pet Paco. Paco is the name of the pet. Before we begin reading, there is a word I'd like to go over with you. This word is L-U-G. I'd like you to pronounce that for me. And the word is?
Lug.
Lug is correct. Lug is another word for carry. If you lug something, you are carrying something that is very heavy. Today, as we finish reading this story, let's consider whether Paco can run or must he rest, and why. Listen to me do a little bit of modeled reading. Put your finger on the title, and I'd like you to follow along and listen to me read with expression. My Pet Paco. I have a pet dog. He is Paco the lab. Paco can beg and sit. He can run in the sun. But I cannot let him dig in the mud. No, Paco. My dog dug in the wet mud. I have to lug him to the tub. He is sad. The tub is not fun. No, Paco. He hit his hip on the top of the tub. Paco cannot run. He has to hop on his leg. We have to go to the vet to fix his hip. I'm going to stop there, and now I would like us to read chorally until I say stop. Let's go ahead and start just beneath the title, and let's read together, seeing if we can keep our voices together, reading with expression. I have a pet dog. He is Paco the lab. Paco can beg and sit. He can run in the sun, but I cannot let him dig in the mud. No, Paco. My dog dug in the wet mud. I have to lug him to the tub. He is sad. The tub is not fun. No, Paco. He hit his hip on the top of the tub. Paco cannot run. He has to hop on his leg. We have to go to the vet to fix his hip. All right, let's stop there. We're going to do some continuous reading. So when you're partner A, I'm going to have you read until I say stop. When I say stop, I want you to also say stop. Then I will give you directions for partner B. So partner A, starting at the first line below the title, you may begin.
I have a pet dog. He is Paco the lab. Paco can beg and sit. He can run in the sun, but I cannot let him dig in the mud.
Stop.
Stop.
Okay, partner B, I would like for you to keep reading where A left off. So, once more, make sure that you are tracking with your finger, and you'll need to start reading until I say stop. If you get to the end of the story, just start back at the beginning for extra practice. Partner B, begin.
No, Paco. My dog dug in the wet mud. I have to lug him to the tub. He is sad. The tub is not fun. No, Paco. He hit his hip on the top of the tub.
Stop.
Stop.
And we can continue this procedure a couple more times, but for the sake of today, we're going to respond to that comprehension question. So, can Paco run, or does he have to rest at the end of the story, and why? I'm going to phrase that question so we can all answer at the same time. At the end of the story, Paco has to rest. And Paco has to rest so his leg will get better. Very good. That concludes our fluency practice.